Right now, thousands of families are sitting at home stressed because the government shut down and paychecks have stopped coming in. People are scared, confused, trying to figure out what's next. But we completely get it because when your back is against that wall, that pressure hits different.
Yeah.
And maybe, just maybe, this is your sign to stop depending on them and start depending on you. So let's talk about how you can take your power back and how trading could be that first step towards freedom. My name is Crissy.
And I'm George.
Welcome to Married to the Market. So let's get right into how the government shutdown is happening, and there are some hidden opportunities that potential or new traders can start to look in. But let's talk about what's actually going on.
Yeah. There's a lot of people right now that are not necessarily say out of a job, but they're not working. There's no pay coming
Yeah,
in.
we are in a
Um,
complete shutdown.
there's uncertainty. So there's a lot of furloughs going on. There's people right now that can't pay their bills. There's people that live paycheck to paycheck.
Mm.
They're not sure how they're going to pay their bill come this week or the end of the week.
And even for the economy right now, we're not getting our unemployment numbers. We're not getting any of these numbers that we usually get. None of it is coming in. Everything is at a standstill. People are just uncertain.
Even with trading in the markets, right now you have data that is missing. So even though we trade, you have CPI that's not being recorded. You have PPI not being recorded. You have a lot of numbers, unemployment. You don't really know what unemployment is. And I'm guaranteed unemployment is a lot more right now because of the shutdown.
Yeah.
There's certain things that are in effect, but sometimes the market doesn't care what happens as far as the government shutdown. The market is still gonna go. It's just that you have to find opportunities within the market, as bad as it sounds.
Yeah. I mean, as bad as it sounds, families are financially stressed right now, and people are looking for new ways to find income. And maybe you're watching this and this particular thing is happening to you. Let's talk about how it is actually affecting the market, right? Because as a whole, consumer spending might be dipping. The reason I'm saying that is because of, like we talked about, the uncertainty. So
Mhm.
spending starts to slow down. Maybe people are unsure. Maybe you were thinking about getting a new car, but then because of this, you're kind of on the fence. You're not going to the dealerships. You're not going to redesign your home. You're not going to do certain things because you want to see what's about to play out. Last time we were in a shutdown, it was for over 30 days.
Yeah, and this one, they're saying it might be longer, but
Who
what
knows?
happens in the market, the volatility will rise. Now you have investors that will sit on the sidelines because of uncertainty, right? So
Mhm.
because of uncertainty, some people will sit on the sidelines and say,
Yeah.
hey, I'll wait. Some people might trade off of numbers. With us, we
Hmm.
trade off of technicals. If we don't see the setup, we're not taking the trade.
Correct.
But there's always opportunity in the market for you to make money regardless.
Yeah, and there are certain sectors that are going to show that more than others. So you have to think about what is going to be affected by this shutdown. Defense, infrastructure, government contracts, things of that nature. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things attached to this government.
Yeah. So when you see that happen, you have to think what is being affected. Always think that way, no matter what. A lot of times you'll be like, all right, what season are we in? If you're in winter season, what do you think people are going to use the most? What do you think is going to happen the most? People get sick during the winter season. So you look at healthcare stocks. Those are the same aspect you have to look at right now when the government shut down. What gets affected? And by them getting affected, how would it play in the market? How does it present an opportunity for you?
Because even though we're in a shutdown right now, we have to reopen at some point. So historically, when the markets recover, guess what? We took a little dip and then we might rebound, but we don't know. No one can tell you for sure what is actually going to happen.
Mhm.
So let's just talk about how people are truly feeling at this moment,
When you
right?
look at it, people don't have a paycheck.
That's tough.
They don't have a paycheck. The consistency of a paycheck is not there. So now you have people in the military, they have to go to work,
No.
even though they know they're not getting paid. You have TSA employees that say, listen, I'm not getting paid. Why am I going to show up to
Yeah, I
work?
heard on the news the other day that even people working for the government are calling off and they're going to go work Ubers and doing other side gigs to make some income because right now, like you said, the federal workers, their money is uncertain.
So with that, now you have to think about it. If you're watching this and you're being affected, how do you think you're going to approach this situation? Because do you want to be in this situation another 4 years from now when a next president comes in or something of that nature where the government shut down because two people can't agree? Or you're going to say, listen, you know what? Even if I'm employed by someone, I still have the ability to
Mm.
earn money and make money because I learn a skill that somebody can't take away from me.
Exactly. So right now, I think a lot of families are just trying to juggle. Some people are already living paycheck to paycheck. And so they're just, taking from Peter to pay Paul. But at the end of the day, all of that have to be paid. It doesn't matter if the government is shut down. They still want that rent. They still want that car payment, that credit card payment. Those things are still having to get done.
People are in survival mode. It's straight survival mode. Now I have to hustle. Now I have to learn how to pivot. If they're working in the government and they're new to this, they weren't here when the last time it happened. The people that it happened to last time could be like, here we go again. They've been through it, so they know how to move a little bit because
Mhm.
they've been through it. But now you have people going through it for the first time and they might not know how to pivot. They might not have any savings. They might just be like, listen, I'm not prepared for this
Yeah.
versus the other people before they might have been prepared for it because they say, listen, if the government shut down again, I have a way to survive for the next 30 or 60 days.
Yeah. So you have to realize that you cannot depend on the government, regardless, even if it is our paycheck, right? It's not to say that you're asking for a handout. It isn't your paycheck. Like you're working for the government, but you
Mhm.
always have to think about what are some other ways that I can make money? Is there something that I can learn? Is there something that I can do to create another source of income? If 2020 didn't teach us anything, I don't know what did, right?
And now it's teaching us something again where the people that are affected, now you have the time.
Yeah.
Right? If you're furloughed, you're not going to work because there's no work to go to. At that point, you have the time. The best thing you could do is invest in yourself as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Now, we're not telling you, hey, come and learn trading with us. What we're telling you is even if you don't learn how to trade, find a skill, learn something that you could actually pivot on. So when times like this happen, you're not worried about it.
Absolutely. But if you are interested in learning options, this is the perfect time for you to actually start because
Mhm.
learning a skill like options trading can take you weeks, right? Or even a couple of months, depending. Everybody's learning style is different, but it's not going to take you years and it's not going to take degrees. Some people during
And it's
these
not going to
times,
take you a lot of student loans.
yeah, that part too, because I was gonna say that. Sometimes people say, you know what, when circumstances like this, it makes them realize, oh, I need to go back to school or I need to, that's usually people's first agenda. I need to
Yeah.
run to school and change my degree. But then you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and you're not even sure if you're gonna like that when you come out. Or is that job gonna be taken over by AI? Or, there's so many people that went to school for certain things and those jobs are being eliminated.
You apply for a student loan
Yeah.
for thousands of
Yeah.
dollars to learn something. And then when you learn it, you hate it. You find out, hey, it's the wrong thing that I've been chasing my whole life.
Yeah.
Versus, hey, if you take the same time, not 4 years, we're talking about a few weeks that can really, if you really lock in
Yep.
on a few weeks, we've seen people come through a 6 week program and
Yeah.
it's killing it.
We wanted to take a quick break and say thank you guys so much for watching this video. Did you know that 80% of the people that are watching this video are not subscribed? And you might be one of those people just as well. And if you are, do us a favor and click that subscribe button and join us on this journey. Watching this video, that means you might be interested in options trading. I'm not sure if this is for you, but I wanted to let you know that George and I have a 6-week mentorship called Married to the Markets. We'll be teaching you everything about options trading and holding your hand throughout this process. If that sounds like something that you would be interested in, make sure you pause this video and check the description because we're going to be putting all the information that you need and to see if you're qualified for this. So if this is something that you want, we would love to have you guys in the Married to the Market family. So guys, let's go ahead and jump back into the video. Yeah.
So to think that you can learn options in a couple weeks and then turn your life around or change your life completely to where now you're not dependent on a job, you're not dependent on a person to say, listen, you know what? This is what I'm going to pay. You can actually develop your own self worth. And if you want to go to that job,
Yeah.
it's an option.
Absolutely. It's an option. You choose to show up there, but you can still carve out that time. But what I love is that it requires low capital to get in versus
Mhm.
like if you were to go get in on a franchise business or something
Yeah.
of that nature where you have to come up with, you know, 50,000, 100,000, however, and then you got to front load that. And if you, and think about it in this time of the way the world is right now. And if you don't know marketing and business, that's something else you got to learn and hire people to. So there's a lot that comes along with that. We just have to be mindful.
Everybody have to learn. Everybody have to pay their dues, right?
Absolutely.
You
You
have
always
to
say
pay.
that.
You have to pay your dues. If you're looking at it as a business standpoint, if you're opening up a new business, there's cost to open up a new business,
Absolutely.
right? When you think about it, you go to school to learn for 4 years to do a certain type of job. At that job, you might not like, but you spend thousands of dollars. You spend 4 years. If you're talking about getting into a franchise, right? You're talking about upfront costs that you have to
Yeah.
do. Now you have to talk about marketing, brick and mortar. If you're gonna have to pay
Accounting, all of
accounting,
that.
you gotta have to pay lease for a lease, you gotta pay for
Legal
light,
fees.
all these stuff that you're talking about, right? But in a sense, you can't give it back to somebody. You can't give it back to your kids. You could teach your kids or tell your kids what you go through unless they're right there by your side, sticking by your hip. But when you're talking about something where you invest in yourself as far as a skill that you learn right now that takes you weeks and you could turn around and what you invested, you actually learning and you're using. The thing is, when we go to college, we learn certain things and we never use it. I went to college. I ain't never used some of those stuff that I learned.
Yeah.
Biology, I ain't never learned. I don't
It just
ever.
depends on the type of degree that you feel.
But the thing is, some of those stuff is
But
unnecessary. But
then
I
they get
still
outdated
spend.
too.
But the thing is this: I still had to spend money to pay for the biology class. And
Okay.
so, in any case, I paid for something that I never used or I never needed.
Correct.
Right? And if you think about it, you're paying for something, or you're not paying, but you're investing for something that you can always use, that you
Mhm.
could always take advantage of in the market, and you could always give back as far as to your family, to your kids, to whoever you
Yeah.
need to.
We all know the market is open from 9:30 to 4, but this doesn't require you to sit in front of a computer all day. You can do this
Yeah.
part-time.
Yeah.
Everybody that knows George and I knows that we only trade from 9:30 to 11 o'clock max, and then that's it. We might come back at the end of the day and look to see what we could swing. But outside of that, our day is our time, working on your own time. This is a time where you need to focus on a strategy,
You
right?
focus on a strategy, you focus what works, you define that risk,
Mhm.
you refine your trade, and then you just work on that.
Real freedom comes from learning how to not be dependent on your employer, to do things on your own terms, how you want to do it, just in case situations like this happen, right? You always think that, oh, let me get a government job because it's safe. And not always is safe good, right? Because now put in a situation, lots of thousands of families are putting in a situation just being dependent on the government to decide to make up their mind.
But it's not only like when you say government, even with the government shutdown, it's not only government employees
Yeah.
affected. You're talking about people that are retired, that are Social Security,
Yes.
right? That now they're not going to get any money. They have
Yeah.
nothing to do with it. They
But think
just
about your parents are on Social Security or whatever benefits that they're getting. I hope you realize that sometimes they're gonna come knocking at your door for help because they don't have the money. Do you have the money to lend it out to your family? You have to really think about the domino effect that this is having on the government.
yeah.
I mean, on our society.
Yeah, you have people that are on EBT. What happens to Medicare? You have to think about all that stuff when the government shuts down. What get affected?
Yeah. So let's talk about how this can create opportunities for people, right? How are they because again, we're gonna be looking at particular industry sectors that are really gonna be affected by this, like we talked about, like defense, right? We have to think about the airline,
Mhm.
infrastructure, things you have to really start thinking, where can I gain some opportunity from when this is happening?
And then, like I said before, the volatility that it creates in the market, it increased volatility in certain aspects. So now you have opportunities that presents itself. So even if you see the market drop, there's always going to be an opportunity when the market opens back up, or when the government, I should say, open back up, right? So in a sense, right now, those particular sectors, because they're getting affected, they could drop. When
Mhm.
they're dropping, you buy puts on those, you
Yeah.
short them,
You know
right?
you can make money going when the market's going up and the
And
market
so a lot of people, they just tend to think that they only can make money when the market is going up. But for us, we don't care if the market is going up or down. There's always an
Yep.
opportunity for you to make money. So in a case like this, you could be looking at a guaranteed situation where you say, all right, I know that this particular stock is going to be affected. Let me go ahead and
Mhm.
short this stock. I apply what I've learned and now I'm making money on that. So when the time comes around and we know that the government opens back up, guess what? You know that stock is going to rebound and go back up. So at that point, you can buy calls
But
and
we're
you're
not just
making
buying
money.
off rip. We watch to see for, for
Yeah,
it to present itself,
you
the
look for
reversals and things
reversals.
of that nature.
Yeah, you look for reserves. You
Yes.
look for your setup before you go ahead. You're not just buying on speculation. For us, it's not speculation. Something is happening, but we also look for it on the charts. If we see it on the charts, if we see a reversal on the weekly time frame, the monthly time frame, we already know the situation as far as that. So
Yeah.
we're gonna take it. When we see the reversal back to the upside, then we
Yeah.
taking that.
Yeah. So let's go over what to watch out for because now this is the time where you're going to start learning. You're going to start, but I don't want anyone trading out of desperation, right?
Mhm.
Because emotions lead to losses.
Always.
Because now you're in like, oh my gosh, crunch mode, and this is all the money I have. And now you want to throw it, right? You want to throw the bag, hoping that you can 10x that.
Yeah, using your rent money.
Yeah, that's not what we're trying to say, right? We
Mhm.
don't want you guys doing that. We want you to actually take the time to learn
Mhm.
something new, try something new. It's not saying that you got to give up what you're doing. You're just adding to what you're doing. So you don't have to be in situations like this. Or maybe you need to tell a friend or a family about something like this because maybe they don't know about it. But everybody knows somebody right now that is on pause,
Yeah.
whether it be the military, they still gotta go to work, right? We have TSA workers, we have people that are on like, everybody's
Everybody
gonna know
everybody
somebody.
knows somebody, right? You
Correct.
know somebody that's on Social Security that's probably not gonna get, you know somebody that might be getting EBT that not gonna be getting it. So you know somebody that's gonna be affected. The thing is, while you're learning to trade, one of the things that I'm always gonna say is avoid risky plays,
Yeah,
right? If you're still learning, you want to make sure that you're learning and applying certain things, you're using proper risk management, but at the same time, remember, avoid risky plays. Don't trade in desperation. You want to trade from a clear mind, from a clear point of view. So that means when you're taking those trades, you know what you're doing.
yeah. This is the time to study. This is the time to paper trade, back test, understand the setups before you're actually going live. You need to, guys. This is the time. You have the time for some of you guys that are sitting at
Yeah.
home. Take the week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it takes you. Everybody's learning style is completely different, but we have to start changing our mindset from waiting to creating. We're not going to just sit here and wait for the government to fix things. You're giving up your power because you might feel powerless in this moment. You might be like, okay, well, I'm just going to sit here. No, don't sit here and watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Don't sit here and do that. Figure out something, work on yourself, go to the gym, get your mind right. Think about what your next game plan is. Always think,
Yeah.
right? Always be thinking of how can you set up your family for
The
success.
thing is, learning a skill like trading puts you back in control of your own life. When you're talking about trading, you're learning a skill that can completely change your life, your family life, and your kids' life as well. Only thing you have to do is just apply what you've learned and make sure that you're learning from the right person
Yeah.
as well, right?
But
The right
also
mentors.
joining the right community.
Joining
You
the right
guys are
community. There you
right.
go.
You guys know we have Married to the Market. We are an options trading community. My husband and I trade every single day
Hmm.
together. There's so much that we offer because we just want everybody to win. If you're watching this video, you see that we come out every week with a podcast and we have shorts that go out daily. It's because we care. We want to see everyone win. It's not that we don't know. We know we can help you trade. It's really where your mindset comes into. This is why it's so important for you guys to never think about the get rich quick scheme. Think about moving smarter forever, reading, educating yourself, just really diving into as much as you can during this time.
Yeah. It's like when you look at it, the education part, anything is possible when you open up yourself to learn and trade it.
Yeah.
So you just have to give yourself the chance. A lot of people say, I'm too old, or this looks confusing. Well, anything at first glance is going to look confusing.
Yeah.
Anything at first glance, you're not going to understand. If you understand it, you would have been doing it. Right.
Correct.
But the simple fact that you're starting something new, you're starting something fresh, look at it as you're opening up a business, but this business is completely you. You're
Yeah.
investing in you. You're starting a new business in you. right? Instead of to say, well, you know what, I'm going to go start a business that I'm going to go cut grass. Nothing wrong with that. You can make money from that, but that's labor. You could say, I'm going to start a business by opening up a franchise. You still have to apply for a loan, get a loan, put 10% down, and then start that business. And you still have to find a building to do whatever you need to do it. If you're talking about a car wash, whatever it is, you still have to buy equipment. You still have to get
Absolutely.
certain things done. But the thing is, when you start talking about business, what about investing in you? What about saying, no, you know what? I'm going to spend the money on me because no matter what, it cannot be taken out.
That's the best investment you can ever make. And this is coming from experience. The best investment you can ever make is in yourself, right? So if you are affected by this shutdown, this is the time to invest in yourself. Stop relying on others because we see how uncertain this world is. One moment things up, one moment things are down, just so much uncertainty that's actually going on. Start with education, understanding certain things, just pouring into yourself into this season right now.
Find a supportive community, like Married to the Markets.
You do not have to face this time alone. We are here together. There are
Yeah.
other paths to make money than your traditional 9 to 5. If you guys are interested in joining Married to the Markets, the link is always in the description. You can come on into our Discord, introduce yourself. We do not bite.
No,
We
we
love
don't.
to see people that are willing to work on themselves in this season. We're always encouraging. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube because we do come out with videos damn near daily. Right? But if you do want a mentorship, not a course, we do not give
Yeah.
courses. If you want a mentorship and you want hands on experience, someone to hold your hand throughout this process from A to Z, I'm just going to say apply. You don't know if you qualify or not because not everybody qualifies for our mentorship. So if
Mhm.
you want to see, book a call. There is a link in the description and we'll go from there. But otherwise, I mean, that was really I just thought it was a very important topic that we need to discuss because not a lot of people are talking about it. This is happening. This is our reality. We need to take this seriously. This is not like I'm just going to wake up tomorrow and everything's going to go back to normal. People's lives are being affected every single day
Yeah.
as this progresses. And it's sad, but it is the reality. So, with that being said, I want you guys to share this video with a friend or a family, or maybe you talk to some of your friends and decide, you know what? Let's lock into this. Let's do this together and change together. Nothing is more powerful than community and doing things
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that was it for this episode. With that being said, we will see you on our next podcast.
All right,
Bye.
guys.